Ladies, welcome back to Ladies University. I'm so happy to see you. Let's get right into the lecture. Today's lecture is about masculinity and femininity. Every human being has both masculine and feminine qualities, no matter the gender. Neither list of qualities belong to one exclusive gender. We all have them. As humans, we should have a balance. Masculine and feminine qualities are simply just an expression of yourself. It's an expression of who you are. You can identify these masculine traits. Masculinity often shows up as leadership, protection, logic, discipline, decisiveness, providing, independence, problem solving. These are masculine qualities. Some men have them, some women have them. Some men don't have none of them. Understand that you can be a man or a woman and still have masculine qualities. Femininity shows up nurturing, receiving, patience, creativity, compassion, intuition, trust, emotional intelligence. These are feminine qualities and they show up as so. Some men have them, some women have them. Masculine energy usually asks the question of what needs to be done here? How can I fix this? It's a fixer, a problem solver. Femininity usually asks the question of how does this feel? How does this make me feel? How should I move upon it given that case? The goal is to become balanced with both your masculinity and your femininity. It's yin and yang. Balanced people don't reject one or the other. They learn when each is needed. So ensure that you have a great balance. You don't need to lean more into your femininity. You don't need to lean more into your masculinity. Whoever you are is who you are, and you may have both. You may lean here, you may lean there. It doesn't matter. You are who you are. See, balanced people don't reject one or the other, their masculinity or their femininity. They learn when to use each. And what I really want to get into is masculinity in women. See, there's a difference between natural masculinity in women and forced masculinity in women. And we want to identify which one is showing up in us, because we don't want to be forced into masculine qualities or traits or characteristics because of our circumstances or situations. And we want to make sure we're aware of that. See, natural masculinity in a woman is simply your personality. You may have always been a natural born leader. Maybe you've always been assertive. You have a masculine trait of always being decisive. You know what you want at all times. A beautiful thing. That's a masculine trait. These aren't bad things for a woman to have. This is a woman with balance of her femininity and her masculinity. The forced masculinity will sound a little bit different. You'll find yourself saying things like, I can't trust anyone to handle this for me. I have to do it myself because no one else will do it. I have to carry everything. I need to protect myself. Sometimes a woman will stop receiving. And we already know that receiving is a feminine trait. She simply doesn't feel safe receiving. She doesn't feel safe in her femininity. In turn, she becomes the provider, the protector, the fixer. This is by default. She has to become this because she didn't feel safe in her femininity. Not necessarily because this is just naturally who she is, but because that's what survival required. Ladies, you have to ask yourself, am I living in my masculinity because I enjoy it, or because you don't feel safe enough to put it down and to actually dive full throttle into your femininity? You've never had a safe space to do so if you are in a realm of forced masculinity as a woman. If you don't feel safe to lean more towards your femininity, you have to have the conversation. You have to have the conversation with your guy. Tell your partner what you need. Give them the opportunity, the space to feel that need. A man can't demand something from you that he's not even able to provide himself. But you also have to give him the space and room to see if he's able to provide it for you. You can't just keep picking up everything because you're used to it. You have a man that's willing, or maybe you need to speak up and see if he's willing. He's not used to dealing with a woman like you, or maybe you keep picking up everything, so he thinks that's just the way you like to do things. box. No, if you are in forced masculinity as a woman, it's time to put that down and be clear and heard. It's time to speak what you need and see if it can be provided by that masculine figure, so you don't have to keep diving into something that you are not naturally supposed to be. Okay, now let's get into the pop quiz so we can make sure it really digested. We got a few true or false questions. Ladies, pencils up. Let's see if you've been paying attention. Number 1, every woman who displays masculine characteristics or qualities is less of a woman. True or false? That is completely false. You already know what we want is a balance, ladies, of our masculine and femininity. Number 2, masculinity and femininity exist in almost every person. True or false? True, of course. We are both made up of our father and our mother, so aren't we supposed to have both DNAs put together? Come on. Do we have to have science class, ladies? Let's keep going. Number 3, being controlling can sometimes be a sign that you don't feel secure. True or false? That is true. You may feel you have to pick up and control almost everything because you've never was able to put it down and trust someone else to handle it for you. Number 4, a healthy relationship should allow the expression of both masculinity and femininity, no matter the gender. True or false? That is indeed true. No matter your gender, you should be able to display both of your counterparts, masculine and feminine. Let's be clear, ladies. This doesn't mean that if you're a woman and you lean more towards your masculinity that you are more of a boy or you're more of a man. No, this doesn't mean that. I went over the qualities and characteristics that a masculine would show up as. And we all have them. And they are great. Some of them are amazing. Some of them women should most definitely have. And if she don't, she most definitely probably is a bum. Let's get into the office hours, ladies. And I just have something quick to say to you. If you ever find yourself not knowing who you are anymore, you used to be soft, you used to let people in, you used to let people help you. Now you question everything, double check everything. You feel like you have to handle everything yourself. Sometimes life pushes us in a realm where we can only see life in a way where if we don't carry it, no one will, and it won't get carried. Maybe that lesson came from childhood. Maybe it came from your past relationship. Either way, know for sure that your masculinity is not the issue. The question is whether you've been carrying survival habits into places where partnership was supposed to exist. If you're with someone that wants to be with you and build with you, they should be creating a space where you can be safe in your femininity. But ladies, you also have to be willing to allow him the room to show you that he's even capable of doing so. If you keep picking up everything and if you keep carrying everything, what is he gonna load? No relationship should feel like a one-person rescue mission. It should be a team. Y'all should be a team. It should be a partnership. No one should be carrying it all. Not him, not you. No one should be leaning all into their masculinity. He should have some femininity and so should you. Both of you should have times where you're giving and receiving. Giving, a masculine trait. Providing, masculinity. Receiving, femininity. He shall receive and so shall you. And you shall give and so shall he. A mutual thing, reciprocity. Okay, that was the end of the lecture. Let's get right into the homework. You know, I only got one last thing for us. This week, I want you to audit yourself. Yes, I want you to make 2 different lists. One side is masculinity, one side is femininity. And I want you to write characteristics and qualities thereof. For this assignment, the goal is not to become more masculine or feminine. The goal is to make sure that neither one is being controlled by fear or survival. Because when you truly feel safe, you don't have to perform. You simply just get to be yourself. And that's all, ladies. Thank you again for joining me on another lecture. I hope to see you again. Please go to ladiesuniversity.com and make sure that you are enrolled as a student. I need to make sure that you're here, you're showing up. Also, we have one-on-one sessions. If you need some advice, some coaching, you just need an ear to listen in on. I'm sorry, I can't listen. I am going to respond. You can get you a one-on-one session with me, the Dean, Mike here, and we can get you some advice or some coaching. Whatever you need, I got you. Thank you again for joining me. This was Ladies University. See you next week. And that was the bell.